So, like I said, this is for a new sports show. It's just like, where are they now? Taking a look at people who were athletes from our area who went on to do awesome things, just trying to catch up to them and see how what Toledo meant to them and what they're up to now.
Absolutely.
So, starting off, who got you interested in the sport of football, would you say?
Definitely my dad and my brother. I'm the younger one of the two brothers, and growing up, my dad's from Detroit, so we grew up Michigan fans. But no, since ever I can remember, my brother he played football, so naturally, being the younger brother, I always wanted to do what the older brother did. Uh, we watched a lot of Michigan football growing up, watched a lot of football in general. Um, so ever since I can remember, just my dad and my brother, we were outside a lot, playing a lot of football, watching it on TV. So it's just kind of who we were, and it's ingrained in us.
Um, what would you say was special in your opinion about playing football for Whitmer?
Oh man, just kind of where we started. So my sophomore year, we weren't very good. Um, And then we had a coaching change. Joe Palka comes in. He becomes a new head coach, and I feel like Joe Palka, what made it special at that time is that he took Whitmer to a place that it hadn't been before. So it was special for me being in the embryonic stages of that point of the Whitmer football program, kind of taking it to a place where it hadn't been up to that point, and then seeing it kind of take off from there after I left. And you had guys like Chris Wormley and Storm Norton, those guys coming in after I had already played and left. And those guys taking it to another level. But I feel like our class, when I was there, we were kind of stepping stone in terms of taking the Whitmer football program to a place it hadn't been before.
Um, you were an all Ohio player, correct?
I was, yes, defensive
So,
end actually.
oh,
Defensive,
so that's
yeah,
interesting. So I didn't even realize that aspect. So what was it like being a two-way player in high school and then becoming just a tight end in college?
you talk to all the guys, like when you go to Michigan, you talk to all your teammates. I feel like everybody played both sides of the football. But I had no idea how strenuous it was until you get to college and you're only playing one way and you're fighting for playing time and you're dividing those reps. So, I feel like I have more gas in the tank in terms of being able to last an entire game. But no, it was fun. It was fun. Like I said, I was all state as a defensive end, guy by the name of Kyle Rudolph. I think he was at Elder or St. X, one of the two down there in Cincinnati. He was the all Ohio tight end, and rightfully so. I mean, this guy played freaking 10 years in the NFL. So they got that one right. They got that one right. But no, I love playing both ways, playing special teams, doing all those things for the team. Whatever it took to win, whatever it took to win, that was always our mindset.
So there's tons of players who are great high school football players. At what point did you realize that you had what it took to go to the next level and not just be like a walk-on or a everyday player, but had the talent to be a productive player at the next level?
Um, Probably my junior year. I feel like as a sophomore, so freshmen weren't at the time at Whitmer weren't allowed to play on varsity. So, we had a great time playing freshman football and never thought twice about it. Sophomore year comes around and for us to be able to even get varsity playing time was a big deal. And I ended up playing both ways as a sophomore, not knowing anything, just being a young kid, just loving to play football. And junior year comes around, and I think probably when Coach Palka was telling me that there were teams interested in recruiting me, and never really crossed my mind. I honestly, I think we all had hoop dreams at some point. I thought I was going to be a basketball player. Freshman going to sophomore year, we were all like, hey, we're going to play basketball full time. We're going to commit to this. Then that would have been a poor decision on my part. There's not a whole lot of 6'4" power forwards in the NBA. So I made the right decision in terms of not pouring all my time and my energy into basketball. But yeah, probably around my junior year when Coach Palko let me know that teams were interested in recruiting me, and I was like, oh, this could be a real possibility for me.
Cool. So obviously we're in the state of Ohio. Geographically, we're closer to Ann Arbor than we are to Columbus, but we're in the state of Ohio. What was it like being recruited by both schools, and what eventually made you choose the Block M?
Yeah, it was special, man. You know, I got those two offers from Ohio State and from Michigan, and honestly, once I got those two, I wasn't really looking for anything else. Those were kind of the pinnacle for me personally. Um, but no, ultimately, like I said, my dad from Detroit, we grew up watching Michigan football, like you said, in terms of proximity. Ann Arbor's 45 minutes from Toledo versus 3 hours to Columbus. Not that that's a huge difference, but back then it felt like it was. And in Ohio State, they did a great job recruiting me. Jim Tressel was the coach at the time, and they did a really good job of recruiting me and showing me love and making me feel wanted at the university. But ultimately, I remember talking to my mom one day. She was like, "Didn't you always grow up a Michigan fan?" I was like, "Yeah." She said, "So why aren't you going there?" I was like, "Never really thought about it like that." So woke up the next day and I committed to Michigan. But it just felt like the right decision for me and my family, and I'm glad that I did. I had a great 4 years there, and I loved every second being on campus and putting on that winged helmet.
Obviously, we're both a little biased, but in my opinion, it's the best stadium in college football. It's the best city in college football. It's the best fan base. It's the best everything. What are some of your favorite things about your time in Ann Arbor?
Oh man, how much time you got? From a football aspect, I feel like when you ask a lot of the former players what they miss most, is definitely the camaraderie, the locker room, those relationships, the people. And Michigan's such a special place that some of those people are still there to this day. But that's what you miss the most. You miss your teammates, you miss those inside jokes, you miss the shared suffering that you have with those guys that people don't see. Um, Throughout the week. They just see the finished product on Saturday, but everything that it took to get to that point, through winter conditioning, through the summer conditioning, through spring ball, like all of those times were the times that I remember the most, that I cherish the most. It's funny, Devin Gardner just gave me a call last night, doing nothing just to make fun of me, and so I still keep in contact with a lot of those guys, and then you can go down the list of like, okay, Sugar Bowl win against Virginia Tech, first time beating Ohio State in X number of years in 2011. Like those games, the Notre Dame game in 2011, those games definitely stick out. And you love to compete, and that's why you go to compete at the highest level, and we did. But the relationships that you build along the way, is what I miss most, is what I hold most dearly to my heart, when I reminisce on my time back in Ann Arbor, from a football perspective. Now the city, man, I love Main Street. It is actually so my wife and I, we live down in Atlanta right now, actually traveling back north in a couple of weeks, staying in Plymouth, but we're having a date night in Ann Arbor, going down on Main Street, going to the Chop House. So I love to eat. So I'm a fat kid at heart. I love to eat. So Chop House is one of my favorite restaurants in Ann Arbor. So we'll make it a point to head there for date night. Uh, Zingerman's, love Zingerman's. Love a good sandwich. So like I said, I love to eat. I play tight end, so I had to put the weight on. So those places definitely help. Not Chop House. I didn't have Chop House money back in college, but no, from outside of football perspective, no, I just love just the melting pot that Ann Arbor is. The different types of people that are there, the different places to eat because I love to eat.
Was Fritas and Patitas there when you were there?
It was definitely up there on the list, but not as high. If I was gonna have a ranking,
Yeah,
Chop House is probably at the top for me. Not like I said, in college I didn't go there a ton.
yeah,
But back when I was a GA, 'cause I went back to Michigan as a GA,
yeah.
went there a few more times. Um, but no, definitely Mr. Spots was a huge spot for us. Just walking down there on State Street. So the list can go on and on. I promise you that.
So this was one of my favorite questions that I was most excited to ask you today. Even in people that aren't necessarily watching Michigan might know your name because of how notable you were in like NCAA 12 or whatever the last college football video game is. What was that like to be on the video game and be someone and be able to play as yourself?
Oh, we love the game, man. That we would literally so I remember at GameStop they would release the game at midnight and we would go and we would wait for the game to drop at midnight. and you would go back to your dorm at 12:30 in the morning, and you would go and you would play as yourself. You didn't play like a ton. You didn't play with Michigan a ton, but you played the first couple of days. You were playing with yourself, and we'd always compete and compare and seeing where your overall rating was, where your speed was, where your strength was. But no, I just remember waiting up, like waiting in line, like 11 p.m. We go to GameStop and we wait in line and wait for that game to drop at midnight, like it was like we used to do for Black Friday shopping. You know, we there'd be people lined up. But that was the coolest part, you know, just being able to wait up until midnight. Um, but I wasn't like a huge like video game player per se. I had a PlayStation, whatever it was, PlayStation 3, 4, whatever. I can't even remember. Um, but no, it was a good time. It was really cool seeing Denard on the cover. I still give him a hard time about it, but it was really cool. And he made the cover again. He made it again. Two-time cover of NCAA. Denard Robinson. Get excited
In
for
his
him.
jacket.
So that was pretty cool.
That's awesome. So, if I have this right, it says that you began your coaching career back at Saline High School.
Yeah.
What made, I know that there might have been some injuries and whatnot, but what made you decide to step in there, and what did that role as your first coaching role teach you?
Yeah, so it was by happen chance. You know, I had torn my Achilles a month before the draft, so I went undrafted. So I was still in the area, um, and needed something to do. You know, ironically enough, Joe Polka was the head coach at Saline at the time, and I remember I contacted him one night and said, "Hey, if I'm around in the area this fall, if you guys need help, let me know. We'll love to help you guys out." 5 minutes later, he shoots me a text, "Hey, you can coach the slots in the tight end." So I was like, "Let's do it." Um, with the thought of like, hey, after the season, I was gonna get on an off-season roster, do those things. Still giving the NFL a shot, but you know, I had a great time. You know, I had a great time, and I always said, you know, if the opportunity presented itself and I was able to become a GA somewhere, I would love to do that to see if I wanted to get into coaching. And that happened a lot sooner than I thought it would. It happened right after the season, and Brady Hoke called me, and I had a decision to make. You know, whether I wanted to pursue the NFL still or get into coaching. So, you know, I weighed my options, and I had a great 4 years, 4 year starter, captain my senior year, won Sugar Bowl, 11 games. So all that, you know, I had a great time. So I can't, sorry about that. So I weighed my options. I was like, you know what? Like I had a great time. So um, it was time. It was time.
So we were talking about when you went to U of M. So what was it about your time as a GA that made you really think, yeah, I want to stay into coaching and keep trying to progress at this?
Honestly, you know, I feel like I had a revelation there when I was like, I don't know what else I would be doing. And you know, I went to Michigan. I graduated with a degree in sport management. So I was like, hey, I'll be an athletic director. Um, I would love to be an athletic director at a college. I guess it's Power Four now. At a Power Four school, i.e., like a Ward Manual. But you know, the more I coach, the more I'm like, I don't know what else I would be doing. Um, I just enjoyed like same thing. I think the reason why a lot of people get into coaching is either they had a good experience or they want to give somebody a better experience than that they had. But I just enjoy doing it. The relationship part, you know, the uplifting and the building of young men, everything that went into it. You know, I really enjoy doing those things. So, you know, at some point during, I was like, I don't know what else I would be doing with my life. So I decided to go in feet first and see where it took me.
Cool. So obviously now that you're in Atlanta, you're working with the Falcons after a couple of years being over in California. What is your favorite part about being a tight ends coach?
Oh man, probably the aspect of being involved in the entire offense, you know, just from a run game perspective, pass game perspective, pass protection perspective, you know, we have our hands in everything, you know, and there's a lot that's required of the tight end position from a mental standpoint because we have to know all three. Obviously, quarterback, hardest position, hands down. Not saying it isn't, but in terms of being on offense, being able to um, on first down, block a defensive end, and then we go to third down, being able to win your one-on-one matchup with the DB. There's not a lot of positions like it on the football field, and there's a lot that's required of those guys from a physical and a mental aspect. So I would say just being involved in the entire offense, just having to be as detailed as possible, like in those first and second down on Wednesdays in those run game meetings. Then you go to Thursday, third down knowing like, hey, like why are these plays being called, these pass plays, and hey, maybe we have to go back in the backfield on third down to protect so we can let a Bijan Robinson get out on a route. So be it. So we have to be adaptable. We have to be smart and intelligent enough to do it. So I think that's big reason why I love coaching tight ends.
You're still young. Are you relatively active in practice? Are you holding bags against Kyle, or are you more of just
Um,
blowing a whistle and watching what's
It,
going on?
it all depends. Actually, I can't tell you the last time I even blew a whistle. It's been a long time since I had a whistle around my neck per se, but no, I like to stay in it. I like to stay in it, especially too. If things are getting stale, I'll definitely hold the bag. I think they get a kick out of it too because they try to put me on my back when I am holding the bag. Um, so a lot of times like we try to be self-sufficient. So we're not going to have 100 people at our individual trying to help us out and give us looks. So sometimes it's just us. It's just me and the tight ends. So we do a lot of self-service. And sometimes like, hey, if it's later in the season and guys are banged up, hey, I'm not playing on Sunday. You guys are. So let me get out there. You guys hit me. So we can try to keep you guys as fresh as you can be going into the game on Sunday. But yeah, in order to do that, I need to stay physically active. I can't uh, be dormant and all of a sudden think I'm going to go out there and hold the bag against Charlie Warner. It's not going to happen.
No. This has been an awesome interview. I'm almost done. I know you're a busy man. So let's go back to your Whitmer days again real quick.
Yeah,
How cool is it for you to be a star at Whitmore and then, like you said, have those guys come after you, whether it's Storm Norton, whether it's Chris Wormley, whether it's these guys who are going on, you kind of help set a foundation. What does that mean to you?
it means a lot. It means a lot because I feel like, especially too, I don't know, like people didn't have like big expectations for us as we did come through. There wasn't like a rich history in place. There wasn't a rich history of them going like winning all these state championships and going to Final Fours and doing those things. So um, I felt like it was on us to put those things in motion. I felt like we did a decent job of doing it. And did we go to the Final Four? Did we go to a state championship game? No, but I feel like the work that we did put in during our time there uh, helped put those things in motion. Now it also helps too when you have like really talented guys like a Chris Wormley, like a Storm Norton, and there's other guys that I'm definitely forgetting. And no disrespect to those guys, but it's cool to look back and see those guys have more success than we did, and rightfully so because they had great coaching. But they were also great players, and I felt like we had a part in that, and it's always cool to see it, and it's cool to see you leave a place better than what you found it. And I feel like we accomplished that mission, and I feel like a lot of guys after us also had accomplished that mission. Not even on the football field, but also like basketball. Those guys, Nigel Hayes, what he was able to do, and what he's still doing overseas, and which is so cool to see. And I root for all those guys. I think one of the coolest things for me is like not people not knowing Whitmer high school football isn't like a big national brand, but me and Storm like being able to work side by side day in and day out for an NFL franchise, I think that's a huge deal. I don't know how many times you see that, a coach and a player going to the same high school, um, and being able to work together. I think that's incredibly cool, and I think that's a lot to be proud of. So yeah, I cherish those moments. It's cool whenever I do go back and see my face on the wall and being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Those things they mean a lot. They mean a lot, and it's funny just because that was never that we never set out to do those things. We're just young kids just loving to play sports, and football just happened to be one of them. And for it to work out the way that it did, it was pretty cool to see.
All right, this is my last question. I really really appreciate all the time you've
No,
given me.
all good. No worries.
I obviously you're busy. You work for a professional football team. You have a family. You have all these things going on. You just kind of mentioned it a little bit. Are you able to ever get back to Northwest Ohio ever? Do you have family in the area? Are you able to see your name in the Hall of Fame, things like that?
Yeah, so my parents they still live in Toledo. My parents are still there. My brother he's still there. And then my nephew he's going to be um, a sophomore for the football team. And there's going to be a freshman actually. He's going to be a freshman for the football team. Um, so that's cool to see, but as much as we can, this time of year is definitely the time that we're able to get back and visit family. We weren't able to make it back last year, so it'll be good because my wife she's actually from Saline, so it'll be good to see family when we do go back. But once fall camp is all gas no brakes until February. So this is the time of year for us that we're able to take a step back, breathe a little bit. And make the trip up north to go see family. So I'm looking forward to it. I'll go by Whitmer. We'll see. I know Wormley just had the football camp, which was awesome. Love seeing that. So happy that he's able to do that for those kids. I know it means a lot to them. Um, but in terms of no, this is the time of year for us to go back and visit those people.
That's awesome. We were at the camp last week. This is awesome, Kevin.